Looks like we're walking. We'll get them at halftime. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
All that really matters in the end is love, love, love.
New Saquon Sour Old Spice. Smell like you can hurt her over a man, or a bigger man, or a really, really big man, or a truck driven by a really big man, or that really big man with a normal man on his shoulders.
You see this pizza? Right now, it's half off when you order online. Same with this one, and this one. Oh, and this one too. Hey, I'll let you in on a little secret. Every pizza's half off right now at Domino's.
Another Saturday with Saban.
Hey, Coach. Great W technique.
It's a process to win, and winning is a process.
And one coat for the win.
That's how I roll.
Good one, Coach.
Get one coat hide in over 1,000 colors with Bear Marquee, only at the Home Depot.
No weak spots in my coverage.
Thanks for calling Discover.
Hi, I just received my new Discover card. It says cashback. What's cashback?
Buy what you need, earn a little extra back.
Even on a baseball bat?
You betcha.
How about a flamethrower?
So for Mom, I was thinking...
I thought she didn't want anything.
Well, like when she says she doesn't want any fries?
And she eats all her fries.
Exactly. What if we get her the new iPhone 17 Pro at AT&T? We can get their best deal without needing the most expensive plan.
Good call.
And you know, she loves her selfies.
Who's that?
No clue.
Get the all-new iPhone 17 Pro on us when you trade in your old iPhone. Any condition. Most expensive plan not required.
Welcome back to the ACC SEC Challenge, where it has been the freshman highlight for Aaliyah Chavez this afternoon. The three. Then she creates her own space with a step-back three. She is slicing and dicing the NC State defense the second half. Doesn't matter how many players are running at her. She is just at an all-time high in her early career.
9 of her 30 points have come here in the fourth quarter. 17 in the second half. Previous career high 29, had done it twice this season, including most recently against Florida State. The freshman scoring record, by the way, is held by Courtney Paris, the great Courtney Paris, 36. So it is in play with 4:53 to go here in the fourth, and Brooks at the free throw line. Verhulst picked up her first personal. One of two for Zoe. 23 for Brooks, 22 for Jones. And NC State on top by 3. NC State 3 for their last 3 from the field. Oklahoma 4 for their last 4 from the field. That ends the run. Stewart couldn't get the putback. Trieger's got the rebound. 17 and 9 for Tilda Trieger tonight.
Well, if you're an NC State fan, anytime they've had 3 players in double digits, they're undefeated on the season. They have 4 right now.
7 on the shot clock. Back out, Trieger open for 3. Pierre on the offensive glass. Won't drop, but she'll go to the free throw line. 19th rebound for Camille Pierre.
It's his effort. This is also positioning. When the shot's going up, she gets that position on the weak side, knows that her defender's on her, so she takes it to the opposite side and draws the foul.
Pierre had 21 rebounds against Green Bay, a career high a couple of games ago. One of 2. 13 points, 19 boards for the junior from Phoenix. 4-point game, approaching 4 minutes to go in the fourth.
It looks like Zam Jones is now face guarding Chavez, trying to limit her touches.
They still get it to the freshman. Williams comes to set the screen. The trap out top, knocked away from Chavez. 7 on the shot clock. Beers with the pass to Williams. The spin, and she's fouled.
Great job by Chavez of staying level-headed, keeping her head up. When that trap came at her off the on-ball, she gets it up the floor. And then Reagan Beers playing a little point guard to set up Williams. Verifying that she was going up in a shooting pattern. That's what the review was about.
So a quick review. Collaborative replay with Birmingham in use here at the SEC home venue as Williams hits at the free throw line. 15 now for Williams. 4 in double figures for Oklahoma. We've come to expect that. 1 of 2, and Trieger has a double-double. 17 and 10 now for Trieger. Brooks. Samuels back on the floor. The feed to Pierre. The quick release drops it in for 2 more. Williams fights inside. Counted for 2.
Great work by Williams to get that seal.
Brooks wants it back, gets it back from Samuels. Westmore calls a play from the sideline inside of 3 minutes to go in the 4th. Pierre on the spin for 2.
Westmore just keeps calling the set plays, and his team executing at a high level.
Pierre knocked it away, but off the backboard into the hands of Van. And before the shot, a foul is called, and Camille Pierre is grabbing at her right leg.
NC State foul number 35, Zoe Brooks, 4th personal, number 4.
Helped up by Trieger.
I'm laughing because Westmore is trying to get his trainer off the floor because he doesn't want to pull Pierre off the court. What a battle between Williams and Pierre.
Oh, you can see she's hopping right away.
Yeah.
Brittany Blunt is the athletic trainer for NC State. I think they're going to say they have to make a change here. She was out past half court because she can see from the bench, I'm sure, as we just saw in the replay, hopping around on one leg. So we'll keep an eye on Pierre if she needs some treatment, and she is going to the end of the bench just to get checked here, just to make sure she's okay.
Stretching it out, so it could have just been a cramp.
Maddie Cox is into the game. Williams inside, Trigger with the block. Williams sticks with it. Can't get it to go. Beers fights and scores. And 1.
Well, for Oklahoma, off the baseline, out of bounds. You see how NC State gets in a scramble mode. They're going for the shots. No one boxes Beers out on the weak side, and 1 opportunity.
Can't cash in. Trieger tiptoeing. Tipped out of bounds, and it's going to be NC State basketball.
So here comes Pierre. Doesn't get to the table, and oh no, they're going to let her in. The last couple of plays by Westmore have been isolations for Pierre to go one-on-one.
Even if she's still trying to work out a cramp, he's like, we've got the ball, and I'm calling plays for you, so get on the floor. Will they go to Pierre again? Brooks, Williams there. Brooks, Williams recovered and got the block. Another great play by Sahara Williams. Van rattles it in for 2. One-point game. 2 minutes to go. Crowd to their feet here in Norman.
ISO for Pierre.
Comes up short. Verhulst on the defense. Now here come the Sooners. They were down by 10 in the second half. They have a chance to go in front at the free throw line. Trigger with the foul.
It's the defense for Oklahoma of why I think they can make a deep run. Zahara Williams with the block. Then you see her sprint the floor and just bury the defender. That leaves Van open on the wing for that jumper.
Westmore's team closed the second quarter on a 6-0 run. The last lead for Oklahoma was in the second quarter. Williams has tied it at 88. Oklahoma in front. First time they've had the lead since just about 3 minutes to go in the first half. 90 seconds to go in the fourth. Trigger can't get the three. And a foul's going to be called on Verhulst, trying to battle against Pierre for the rebound.
If you're NC State, you love that look. A little screen and pop for Trigger. And who else but Camille Pierre down low, gets the defender, and you see the undercut there by Verhulst.
On the floor, so no free throws. Fourth team foul on Oklahoma. 15 to shoot. Verhulst with the block.
The seventh block for the Sooners. None bigger by this one by Peyton Verhulst. Times it perfectly and gets that ball out of there.
11 to shoot for NC State. Knocked away by Beers. 10 to shoot. Each team with their full complement of timeouts, and now Westmore will take one. You saw where I was going
yes,
there, right?
Absolutely. You could have been a coach.
Might be time to bring everybody in and draw something up in what is now a 1-point Oklahoma lead in the fourth quarter.
The Apple A19 Pro chip is vapor-cooled because when you run cool, you can push your limits and juggle over 35 trillion complex tasks a second. Imagine if we were that powerful.
At Fairfield, every moment of a perfect game day shapes your fandom. Whether it's stepping out with your crew, grabbing the fuel you need to support your team, or getting that flawless assist from a fellow fan. Be ready. Wherever the season takes you, Marriott Bonvoy has a hotel brand for every kind of fan. Official hotel partner of the NCAA.
Cyber Week is here at Dick's. Score up to 25% off hoodies from Nike, Carhartt, and more, and up to $40 off shoes. Plus, up to 50% off NCAA clothing and up to 50% off basketball hoops. If you find a lower price, we'll match it. Don't miss Cyber Week deals at Dick's.
Steve.
Shh, John, they say with Lavazza, you'll become a maestro.
Yeah, maestro of coffee.
So it has nothing to do with music?
It does not.
Just coffee.
Coffee.
Shall I go again?
Please don't.
Enjoy the pleasure of a masterfully crafted coffee and feel like an Italian barista at home.
Just don't do it.
Discover Lavazza blends now.
I need that one. That is my G flat.
This is star power from the jump.
The ACC SEC Challenge continues Thursday on ESPN and streaming on the ESPN app.
It's been a really good one here in Norman. Oklahoma by 1. It's NC State basketball. Chavez career high 30. Jones career high 22 for NC State. Zoe Brooks having a strong game. Plus 13 in rebounding margin for NC State. Christy Thomas-Scuddy, what are NC State's options here on this inbound with 10 to go on the shot clock?
Well, first of all, they got to get it in. That's one of the most difficult areas of the court to inbound a ball. And you see Trigger have to run to get the ball inbounds. Now 5 seconds. She's got to go.
Jones goes. Too strong. Beers the rebound. Up to Chavez.
Westmore telling his team, do not foul.
No
Get the
need
stop.
to foul. No need to foul. 1 point game. Final minute. Chavez to Williams. Williams, Verhulst. Verhulst, 4-3. Williams went over the back, and she gets called for the foul as Trigger had the spot. That's going to be number 5 on Oklahoma, so both teams in the bonus now, and free throws coming up for the sophomore from Stockholm, who came into this game 11 of 17 from the free throw line on the season, but she's 5 for 5 tonight. (18 points, 12 rebounds for Trigger tonight. Pierre has 17 points and 20 rebounds for the Wolfpack. She cannot break the tie. Samuels can't get the rebound, and here comes Oklahoma.
You've seen what NC State has done. They've any on-ball screen. They've tried to double, get the ball out of Chavez's hands.
No timeout called by Oklahoma.
10-second shot different. Game clock to shot clock.
Chavez wants the screen. She's going to try to do it off the dribble to Williams. Williams turns with 4. Williams ducks inside, too strong. Samuels, great rebound, and gave it up to Pierre. Timeout called by Westmore for NC State. It's NC State basketball in a tie game with 8.7 to go. Back in a moment.
Liberty Mutual customizes.
Wait, am I in one of those Liberty Mutual commercials where they stand in front of the Statue of Liberty and talk about how Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need?
Yes.
Huh. What happens in this one?
Seagulls.
Oh, I like it. How are you doing?
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Westmore was talking about his team's lack of attention to detail. How about this detailed play by Samuels?
She goes up, but it's the body control versus traveling and coming down with it. She kicks it off to her teammates. NC State's timeout was after a dribble, so they cannot advance the ball. They will be in the backcourt inbounding this. Interesting decision for Westmore. Do you take this shot early enough, knowing that you've got one of the top offensive rebounders in the country on your team? Or do you work this down and just get one shot opportunity, knowing that if you missed, you got overtime?
NC State watched URI close the game on a 7-0 run. URI won. USC closed the game on an 8-0 run to beat NC State. Is it NC State closing out a game here on the road in Norman tonight to get a victory?
Well, someone else is probably going to need to come to the ball because they are double-teaming Brooks.
Brooks, tough spot at half court, and Van with the tie-up. Possession arrow gives it to NC State.
And that was a little pre-switch by Oklahoma to tie that ball up. It worked out perfectly, getting the jump ball and being disruptive.
Timeout is going to be called here. NC State will take it and will stay here, 89-89. And we referenced it before, Westmore frustrated with his team, talking about the lack of attention to detail and that they needed to find a way to be better in these key moments. We saw that with Samuels on that rebound and that save, and we've seen it with NC State answering every push by OU here tonight.
This is December, NC State. They learned a lot of lessons in November. Hard lessons, unfortunately. But this is what Westmore does. He's one of our game's best coaches. And to your point, Eric, I said, what are the areas your team needs to improve in? He said, we've got to have better focus and effort. We got to shoot better. Well, his team answered the call here this evening.
One timeout remaining for NC State, which is critical if they have trouble getting the ball in here on the sideline with Brooks.
And Verho's not defending the inbound. It looks like she's just shadowing to try to make this inbound hard.
Trigger's got it. Back to Brooks with 5. Brooks has it knocked away, picked up, and then batted away by Williams with 1.7 to go. It is NC State basketball.
Once again, who else but the defensive stopper, Sierra Williams, with the 8th block of the evening for Oklahoma.
They may go to the monitor just to confirm the amount of time here. Right now the clock says 1.7. And they will go check and confirm the time.
We're reviewing to see if the clock ran after the whistle for the out of bounds.
So right now 1.7, NC State basketball. Tie game. Off the basket support 2.1, so there'll be a little time on the clock, you would think.
Well, that matters because we've seen the last couple of possessions how hard it's been for NC State to get the ball inbounded cleanly.
The clock will be adjusted to 2.1.
2.1, one timeout remaining for NC State.
This has to be something that brings a player towards the rim. So a curl screen. We saw some double stagger today, some elevator screen. What I mean is that 2 players setting a screen and closing the door. Now, because of the foul situation for both these teams, NC State does not want to commit an illegal screen here.
Brooks will trigger the inbound. Keep your eyes on Brooks if she gets it back here after this pass. 2.1 to go, tie game. Brooks gets it in. And a timeout was called.
NC State.
By NC State. Was it after the pass was thrown in? 1.8 on the clock right now. I think they're going to say pass was made. And that's the last timeout for NC State.
And this is that low sideline area, which is going to be another difficult inbounds pass for NC State.
So you see 2.1 on the clock. You see Moore calling timeout, timeout. But I think they gave it to him after the pass was inbounded. So no change on the clock right now, 1.8. And as Christy mentioned, it's going to be a sideline out of bounds play now for NC State.
And one thing Oklahoma's been doing, switching all the screens, making it very difficult for NC State to get the ball inbounded. If they could get a 5 count here, Oklahoma's got a chance.
I think they were drawing up a play for baseline, and then Moore saw that it was going to be sideline, and that changes things. So a little bit of improvisation perhaps here for NC State.
It totally is, because you see the players going to a new spot on the floor.
Jones to trigger the inbound. 1.8 to go. Into the corner, taken away, and we will have overtime here in Norman. NC State couldn't get a shot off and will head to OT.
Most important thing is to get the ball inbounded. Unfortunately for NC State, it's deep corner with 2 players on her.
Reagan Beers with the defense in the corner to force the overtime. This is a game that deserves a little OT. Back with it in a moment.
Good gods, I love Native. Yo, we should give this to the mortals. You deserve Native deodorant. It's got 6 clean ingredients. And it smells divine. It's not a myth.
It's native.
NC State had a 10-point lead in the second half, but Oklahoma chipped away, and we are going to overtime. Career high for Leah Chavez, the freshman, with 30. Zam Jones with 22. Zoe Brooks with 23 for North Carolina State, but NC State unable to get off a final shot to try to win in regulation.
I truly believe that whole staff was thrown for a loop because the ball moved from baseline to sideline, to your point, Eric. And this is where the youth comes in. I think a veteran team can do that on the fly. The youth, unfortunately, really had a struggle that last 30 seconds just inbounding a clean pass.
So we'll jump it up in OT here on night one of the ACC SEC Women's Challenge. Oklahoma outscored NC State 24-19 in the fourth quarter to force the OT, and the tap is controlled by Chavez, who looks to attack right away and scores right away. 32 for the freshman. Zoe Brooks.
Switching everything right now, or at least 1 through 4 for Oklahoma.
Pierre has it knocked away, taken away by Zaya Van. Then Van, a little tricky with the dribble, turned it right back over. Zam Jones. Jones to Triggers, had a good night, not this time. Verhulst with the rebound. And a whistle away from the basketball. Beers and Trigger tangled up.
Calling it on Trigger. Beers is trying to get position, and what they're calling there is a Trigger with that little clamp of the arm.
Yes. So a reminder, both teams over the limit, so free throws on the way for Reagan Beers. Beers with 14 points, 9 rebounds tonight. Had the big steal at the end of regulation to help force OT. First 4 points of overtime scored by Oklahoma. Jones, Williams, locked in defensively. Jones gives it up to Trigger, trying to find Pierre on the inside. Not much happening right now. Brooks got some space and made the most of it for 2. New season high for Zoe Brooks. She had scored 24 against USC, 25 here tonight.
NC State playing off of Williams.
A miscommunication, turnover by Williams. Chance here for NC State to tie it up or take the lead with a 3. Jones looking for the tie. Beers got the block, and Beers got it. Beers is limping back behind the play. She's grabbing at her right knee. Van short. Beers is still back behind the play. Williams puts it in for 2 with Pierre down and grabbing at her leg. Brooks working on Van, and an offensive foul is called on Zoe Brooks. That's her 5th.
Zoe Brooks just trying to make something happen for NC State, and she gets called for that hook around Van. Huge blow for the Wolfpack.
Brooks fouls out with 2:43 to go in OT. She leads the game with 25 points on 10 of 22 shooting.
Trigger working so hard to prevent Bears from getting that inside position.
Verhulst. She's got 8 to go along with 9 rebounds. The freshman Lunin in the game now for Brooks in a big spot. And a blocking foul is going to be called on Chavez.
Shot clock is getting down, and Verhulst just puts it on the floor, hangs in the air. Huge bucket for the 5th-year player.
It's the first personal on Chavez. And here is Taishi Lunin.
Wasn't happy with their energy at the beginning of shoot around, but they certainly picked it up.
Well, she definitely got their attention, and a game at UCLA in which they knew it was not going to be easy as the shot clock is winding down and trying to post inside. Nope, they're going to call 3 seconds on the Cardinal. Stanford, Courtney Ogden has started every single game this year, had just one start last year, but played every single game. Her role has stepped up.
And that's important. And it's the balance that KP talked about. The veterans understand that they need the young players. The young players understand they need the veterans. Everybody was thrown into the fire, so to speak, a year ago, playing more outside of their role, and now an opportunity to take that experience and use it this year.
You got that right. There is Kim Caldwell, the head coach. She's in her
percentage-wise, but it gives them opportunities to crash the offensive glass.
And you talked about the mass substitutions that they will do at times. She's already brought fresh legs on now, as you see a whole new unit other than Barker. But she says, look, they're going to give 100%, and they know they're going to get a breather, and then they can come back in.
They're going to come right back in.
Trying to work it on the interior. And the defense right there with the length. Another chance. Didn't hit iron, though. Shot clock to 2. Lopolo. And they're going to wave it off. Shot clock violation. So there's a big stop for the Lady Vols.
Well, the Lady Vols, they're so long, they're so athletic. They have that rim protection behind you. So if you get beat off the bounce, you know that your teammate has your back. And Coach Caldwell talking to us about that in shoot-around. They were a little bit exposed, guarding one-on-one against UCLA.
They're forcing 22 turnovers a game on their opponents. Mia Paldo turns it up, squares it up good. And that allows full court pressure.
And that's going to be a challenge for Stanford, really guarding one-on-one, being able to contain dribble drives.
And the officials blowing the whistle once again.
I mean, this is just a great move. Paldo taking Lopolo down low, uses a little head and shoulder fake, creates enough space to get that shot off, but she's now saddled with her second foul.
And that is not good for Tennessee. See Spearman back in. The drive, Haley Swain, one of the freshmen, off the mark. Here comes Tennessee. Defense getting back. A quick passing around the perimeter, a crawl off the iron. Good hustle. And a jump ball. That's the aggressiveness of Tennessee. But so far, I think Stanford's had bodies or trying to find bodies, which is going to be crucial.
Yeah, they've done a really good job up until this point of really securing the defensive board, finishing possession, and that's what you have to do. You have to force and challenge Tennessee to make outside shots, and you have to limit their opportunities on the offensive glass. But again, it's early, and when you think about the minutes that these Tennessee players are playing, they stay fresh through the fourth quarter.
Exactly. And they continue this length and full court pressure. It's going to stay with Stanford, just under 7 minutes left first quarter.
There can't be a situation the entire night where Stanford only has one person in the backcourt trying to get the inbound. There have to be multiple players in the backcourt giving opportunity.
Gonna need help as Clardy is checked in, tries to knock it off of Tennessee, and instead it's points off turnovers. Headed play from Cooper. She and Nia Robertson have really been good as of late. To go with Janiah Barker. Kick out and swat. Cooper with the length, the red shirt junior.
Dead balls, made shots. Every time Tennessee's going to set their pressure, and it's really important where you are able to inbound the basketball. We saw Tennessee working at shoot-around today, really forcing Stanford low.
Stanford on a bit of a scoring drought. Got to find some offense. Shot clock down to 3. And another shot clock violation, which is exactly what Tennessee loves to do.
Well, and you mentioned it, a hard time finding offense, and that's going to be the challenge for Stanford as the season continues to progress. They've improved from a year ago on the defensive end of the floor. Can they generate enough offense to allow them opportunities to win ball games?
Yeah, coming off some fairly low-scoring games. I mean, coming into this one averaging 74 a game, but just 62 points against Colorado State and 62 points against Florida Gulf Coast. 4 turnovers in the last 4 minutes for Stanford. Welcome those of you who've been watching the overtime. A winner for Oklahoma in this ACC-SEC Challenge. We're at Stanford, California, inside Naples Pavilion, and it's been a close one so far as finally the first 3 made for Tennessee. And the pressure continues. The MO for this Lady Vols team. Full court pressure to create opportunities.
Yeah, you cannot afford, if you're Stanford, to just watch Lopolo bring the ball up the floor one-on-one. Great job of finding the open Nunu Aguera. But there have to be players that are flashing to the ball. Just a run and jump pressure. They're going to try to trap you. They're going to get the ball out of your hands. They're going to fly around in passing lanes. Stanford has to have outlets.
Yeah, it seems like they're trying to just do it precisely as opposed to really bringing in more help. And there haven't been enough bodies down there as Tennessee is going to crash the offensive glass every time as well. A miss there. And Lopolo trying to dodge multiple defenders. 5 turnovers already for Stanford and 6 points off of them for Tennessee.
And Talani Napolo is having to work incredibly hard, 94 feet. Got to find some relief.
They're so glad to have her back. That's Clardy, the heady play by the veteran who comes off the bench. A starter last year when Napolo was out, but she's accepting this role this year.
Well, and she really is the one player for Stanford that can get downhill, that can create offense at the rim, put pressure on the defense.
I had a feeling we'd see her come in pretty quickly against this pressure, as that one won't go for Sybil. Jada Sybil, the birthday girl, the freshman out of Vero Beach, Florida. And there's another takeaway. Cooper. She just padding her stats off of her defense.
You know, Cooper's had games where she's had 7 steals and 6 steals in a 2-game span. She does such a good job of using her length. Her timing on the steal is impeccable.
Stanford starting to find the answer to breaking this full-court pressure.
Well, this is Tennessee's MO. They're going to pressure you. They're going to hound you. Nearly 30 points a ball game off of turnovers. That's an easy 2.
ESPN as we continue Jim Valvano's fight against cancer.
Welcome back to the ACC-SEC Women's Challenge here inside Maples Pavilion. And the Stanford Cardinal trying to hang in with number 19, Tennessee. Krista Blanc alongside Stephanie White. And so far, it's close, but it feels like Tennessee has been in control.
Yeah, it does. Tennessee's done a great job of forcing turnovers, which is their specialty. 6 of those that they've forced, and they've been able to score 8 points off of those. And for Stanford, Kate Pay talking to us today in shoot-around, we got to rebound the basketball. We got to take care of the basketball.
Yep. She knows what this Tennessee team can do. The system for Kim Caldwell, she's also in her 2nd season as the head coach. And they want pressure. They're going to crash the offensive glass. That's exactly what they've done. They've gotten 8 points off of 6 turnovers for us so far. So 8 of their 11 coming from their defensive effort.
Well, and Stanford's putting a lot of pressure on themselves in the backcourt, trying to bring the ball against this press one-on-one. But Courtney Ogden has been a great source of offense.
And she has been, and she has 6 points. And now a takeaway And the bench loving the effort, so is this crowd. Tennessee just 2 starters back from a Sweet 16 team a season ago. They do have 5 seniors, but a few transfers, a lot of new pieces. So 3 transfers, 5 freshmen. That's 8 new players coming in to Kim Caldwell's system.
And it's a unique system, so it does take some time to figure it out, to gel from a chemistry standpoint, to understand roles, to understand and learn who you're playing with.
And the same for the Cardinal. Working it inside. Aguirre shot won't go, but cleaning it up on the weak side. That's Eschmeyer who's checked into the game. Alexander Eschmeyer, one of the 5 freshmen added to the Cardinal lineup.
Yeah, Chris, I was really excited about coming to watch Alexander Eschmeyer because I played AAU basketball with her mother, Christina Divyak, who was a heck of a player in Northwestern.
Quite the family, as you can see there, the numbers and the mixture that both teams have. But Eschmeyer's a nice piece coming in the length. Kate calls her kind of a stretch 5. And the whistle on the interior, a little too physical down low. Fouls starting to accumulate against Tennessee.
Well, both of these programs have 2 of the top 3 recruiting classes in the country. Their freshmen are getting a lot of opportunity early. And one of the things that Kate Pay talked to us about was the versatility of this freshman class. And the stretch 5 in Eschmeyer shows you that.
And the same thing for, I think Kim Caldwell said, we're still working on our chemistry. It takes time. But Kate Pay said they've got some pretty good chemistry over the summer, had the majority, and then they recognize the breakdown, but a turnover, the travel going against the Cardinal. There's that recruit class for Kate Pay, the number 3 ranked group coming in. Last year, moving into the ACC, the Cardinal, their first ACC-SEC matchup and challenge, and it was an overtime loss at LSU. Tennessee bringing in 5 freshmen as well. And you've coached and you've played at every single level. It just takes time, and you never know. Some freshmen can come in and really adjust, but it's a whole different pace and level.
It's a different pace. It's a different level. There's a different requirement in terms of consistency that it takes. Like, this is not high school anymore. You can't just go out and just beat people one-on-one. There's a way that you have to work. There's a way that you have to approach every single day, and it's an adjustment period.
Yeah, it certainly is. And this is the time of year, though. This is where they're learning, okay, where are we? What do we need to adjust and work on?
And you get close to the time of year that the coaches love the most, which is Christmas break, and there's no school, and you can solely focus on basketball.
Yes. Oh, a little put back and clean up. That's Chloe Clardy, the junior, and that gives Stanford the lead. First lead in a while for the Cardinal before it was 2-0 to start.
This is a great job, again, recognizing, dropping off the pass. Clardy does a good job of following that pass as well and getting an easy opportunity on the putback. But the difference in coming out of that first time out for Stanford is how they're moving the ball up the floor against the pressure. They're moving it with a pass as opposed to trying to dribble through it. And once you break that first level of defense against Tennessee, Stanford getting high percentage looks.
And they haven't seen anything like this so far this season. You can try to emulate in your practices as best you can, but Tennessee definitely brings a different sort of length and athleticism. Hesitation by Aguirre, partially tipped away, and it comes down to Tennessee. Just under 2 minutes left, first quarter. Robertson, good patience. Stanford wanted to travel, no whistle. And they finally get one there. A travel call on Spearman. Third turnover of the game for Tennessee.
And Tennessee's had some challenges with turnovers as well. And when you play at a fast pace, you're going to have a number of turnovers. It's the types of turnovers. The dead ball turnovers you can live with. Give you an opportunity to set your press, to dictate on the defensive end.
Yeah, good point. You can live with some of it. I think Kim Caldwell knowing what their system's like, but depending on when they happen. Miss on the layup, but a jump ball.
Yeah, turnovers really hurt them against UCLA. I mean, UCLA 29 points off of those turnovers.
Yes.
It's the live balls that allow teams to get momentum, get a jump.
Yeah, really flip-flopped the style. UCLA sort of threw Tennessee's system back at him with the 20 turns forced. But she said, yeah, we got to cut down. 20 turnovers, she was not happy about that. Spearman at the high screen, and she's going to get it back. Pick, roll, reverse, off the mark, and it's going to go out of play to go the other way.
Well, that's a good look. We saw Tennessee working on that on-ball screen and having Z Spearman dive into the rim. They're going to get some opportunities in the paint with that look.
6'4" senior, transferred a season ago from Miami.
And you know the trap is coming. Good job at Clardy of avoiding it.
Clardy's been a big help off the bench for Stanford since this game got going. She gets it back. Hyarker off the back of the rim. And not able to get the box out. Good effort from Megara. Another chance. Swain. The fake and the bucket. We heard KP talking about that in shoot-around. Use ball fakes.
Ball fakes, pass fakes, shot fakes. I thought she had an open look. She got a better one.
3-point lead, the largest that Stanford's had this entire way. It's been tight from the start. First quarter winding down. Robertson around the rope drop, but keeping it alive. Spearman. Oh, and just a little short, but she gets fouled. She's going to go to the line. Love the effort of Z Spearman.
Yeah, I've been so impressed with her development since she's come to Tennessee. And great second effort on the offensive glass. Good job of attacking the paint. You know, you've seen her game go from being a true back to the basket post player to now doing a little bit more face up, even shooting the ball from the three-point line. When she was at Miami, she was mostly a defender and a rebounder, and now her offensive skill set has improved.
You really can see her just look to face up every single time, and you didn't see it before as that one's off the mark. Hey, tomorrow on ESPN, the ACC SEC Women's Challenge rolls on. It's number 3 South Carolina and number 22 Louisville at 7, and then number 6 LSU taking on Duke at 9 p.m. I love these matchups. There have been some really close ones. A couple of overtime games already today, and even more tomorrow as the pressure continues. This quarter winding down, 2 on the clock. And a look from Mary Ashley Stevenson, but that will do it for the first quarter. 2-point lead for the Stanford Cardinal. We'll take the break. First quarter in the books. Stanford hanging with number 19 Tennessee.
our goal this year was to be better in the SEC, and we didn't play anyone last year to help us do that. And we didn't learn these lessons until we got into SEC play. We're learning them now, and if our team will watch the film and make the adjustments, then we'll be ready by the time we get in the thick of it.
Kim Caldwell's team last year in her first season made it to the Sweet 16, but did not feel like they had maybe scheduled tough enough. Then they hit conference play, and it's a little eye-opening when you hit a very tough conference like they did.
It is, and being able to put yourself in position to learn, to go back, to watch the film, to understand what you need to do prior to conference play is important, and that was a learning tool for Kim Caldwell and for her staff. You know, and for these young players, you've got a lot of young players that are participating early, and they're getting thrown into the fire, and they get exposed. And it's a great job getting a 5-second violation, and you want them exposed early. And then you see, are they resilient? Can I put them in the ball game in conference play in certain situations? How are we able to handle difficult situations? You know, what's the character of our team?
Yeah, she's definitely had the schedule this year starting at number 9 NC State at the time, a close 3-point loss there. They've already faced at UCLA. A lot of them are on the road as well. You're going into these tough venues. They have Louisville coming up. And it's a takeaway by Lopolo. And on the drive, the defense getting back. How about the block? Big D by Paul. Oh, and Lopolo rips it out of the hands of Robertson. Aguera being aggressive, and a foul call. Gonna go on tonight, Paul. Back and forth takeaways here.
Well, I love the pace that Stanford's playing with. Get a hand in there. They're sagging off from the 3-point line. That enables them to get down the floor. But what a hustle play by Paul to get back and deny that easy bucket. And on the other end, Lopolo getting another steal. This is a much improved defensive team for Stanford. I mean, this is a team that a year ago was in the bottom of the ACC in nearly every defensive category, in the bottom of the NCAA in nearly every defensive category. And while their schedule hasn't been as challenging up to this point, you can see the improvement and the commitment on that end of the floor.
Yeah, it's something that they focused on. They knew it was an area that they had to improve upon. They worked on their conditioning as well, and getting that young group in for the majority of the summer. Many of them were going to have an opportunity to go play international ball, World Cup ball, and instead they came in the summer and got to work.
And these young players, and you can see the numbers, but these young players have size that Stanford didn't have a year ago as well. And you see their versatility defensively. They're switching on ball screens. They're using that length. They're playing strategy on the defensive end of the floor.
Yeah, and they're certainly going to need it as the season goes along, as they move into ACC play. Very athletic, physical conference.
And again, when you're talking about young players, it's the commitment to doing it every day.
Yeah.
Right? Not just getting up to the games that you think are more high-profile games. It's the commitment to doing it every day.
Yeah, that's got to be difficult, I would think, sometimes to bring out of your athletes every single day. The full court pressure continues. And our officials having a conversation. Fatu Sissoko Stevens, Chuck Gonzalez, Jeff Wooten. So everybody's set. Just confirming the possession here, and now the pressure. You can see Aguera bringing it up some, giving a little more length, but there's the defense forcing the turnover once again. Barker thought she got fouled, no whistle. Swain gets it to Clardy. Ogden making sure she didn't step on the end line.
And this is that versatility. That's Shumfai out there initiating offense, playing off of the elbow, going into the split action, and Swain, a great job of using her speed and quickness to get downhill.
And she clears it out, yeah, the opening down the lane. 5-point Stanford lead. Tennessee's system has got to be shocking at first, I'm sure. But if Stanford, if they could just contain and handle it early on, they could stay in it, they felt.
Well, you've seen some teams that have had some success. Belmont had some success until down the line and into the ball game. Shot clock winding down. Civil gets it off.
Oh, boy, that one did everything but drop. Foul call down low.
And again, the good defensive effort. O'Gara does a great job of staying vertical. Chloe Cardi keeping the play alive. And then Swain, who again gives the Cardinal another dynamic, somebody else who can get downhill.
Haley Swain, 5'11" freshman from Marietta, Georgia. 5-star recruit, McDonald's All-American. She has started every single game in this first year. Clardy, no hesitation, but a little short on the shot, and Tennessee wants to push. Oh, looking for an and one, but she'll get free throws. And to the line, that's Tania Prawl, the freshman from Toronto, Canada.
Number 2, Haley Swain. First team foul.
Again, good defense. Tennessee able to use their length, able to get a little bit of a hand on that ball, and then transition defense for Stanford. Chloe Clardy attacking the rim. Somebody has to get back in transition defense. A little slow, and now that gives Tennessee opportunity at the foul line. But they struggle. You know, shoot under 70% as a team from the free throw line. They're going to get there a lot because of how they play. Being able to convert, being able to get some easy ones to go in is going to be important.
Oh, you're right. Gonna have to improve that number. Is off the mark there on that one. Tennessee 3 for 8, and you can bet it's going to be an area of focus this team's going to have to work on. Swain dodges the press. Switch by Tennessee, still hands out, trying to frustrate the Stanford team, and they certainly have right here. Clock down to 1, and again another shot clock violation.
And who else? Talasia Cooper has 4 steals already in this ball game. A great job of being disruptive, just getting a deflection that leads to a potential steal, and Stanford not enough time on that shot clock.
Yeah, I love the pressure from Cooper, just pushing them further and further away from the bucket.
What I like is that she's so disciplined while she does it. It's not demonstrative. She's not swiping. She's just using her length to get a hand on the ball and then releasing to go get it.
Really smart decision making on that end. Long rebound, and Spearman gets fouled in the process. But a top 25 matchup we have this Friday on ESPN. Number 11 Gonzaga and number 18 Kentucky, 7 o'clock Eastern from Bridgestone Arena in Nashville. So many great matchups across the board. Another whistle. They've had the whistles ready. I think they knew it'd be a physical game, and they're not letting it get out of control, that's for certain. 2 team fouls for Tennessee, 3 for Stanford. Robertson off the mark. Didn't hit iron. Another chance, though. Paul waving the bucket.
Yeah, they're going to get on to the game.
Yep. Foul going against her. It's her second. And the 4th on Stanford. So she'll take a seat. She's had a good start to the game, but now picking up the second personal.
She has, and you can see that arm come in there. Just really trying to slow down the ball handler.
Pick and roll, and the finger roll good. Z Spearman gets a bucket.
Yeah, I think that flash to the middle has to be a little bit faster. Champagne was on her way. They got to be able to utilize that.
Polo.
Oh, got to give her ball.
Eschmeyer was pushed it up. And they didn't go with it. Cardi tries the bounce pass into Eschmeyer. Too low. Tennessee will take it. And they're going to call a foul Spearman this time. The push from behind.
Tennessee really working this pick and roll and shoot around, knowing that Stanford was going to be a switching defensive team, able to take advantage of Spearman's ability to get to the rim.
Foul on Spearman her first. She'll get a rest.
Gotta go.
Gotta get it across, and just does. Polo. Nice patience by the point guard, the senior, with the assist into Eschmeyer.
That's a great look. You get Tennessee in rotation, you're going to be able, if you can take care of the basketball, to get a high percentage look. Oh my, that was a foul.
It sure was. And one taken away from Jada Sybil, but she'll take the bucket.
Tough bucket.
That really was. Jada Sybil. 4 starts for her this season. A team that's had 7 different starting lineups. They've played 9 different players in those spots. Shafai, just short. Hook D coming over against Barker. She kicks it out. That one won't go for Paldo, but another offensive rebound for Tennessee. Average almost 18 per game.
Gotta go get it.
And finally, the Cardinal with the box out. 10th in the nation, Tennessee, in offensive rebounding. Apollo loses the D. Jumper around and won't drop.
Yeah, Tennessee, just the commitment to crashing is there. And this is a team that's long, that's athletic. There are a lot of long shots. Teams are going to challenge them to make threes, which means you're sagging off. And if there's no contact, these Tennessee players just fly in and get offensive rebounds.
Well, you're right about that. Using the screen and good. Mia Paldo with the bucket. Her twin sister, Maya, is also on the team. Patterson, New Jersey. Kick down to the corner. Shafai just missing. She can hit it out there, though. 7 made threes on the season. Hitting the court hard and not able to make her way up. Shafai is down at the other end. The Cardinal will push. And that went out of play and slow to get up. We'll take the timeout. 3:26 remaining. Eschmeyer has been a spark off the bench for the Cardinal. And so has Paldo. All right, thank you, ladies. Yeah, the 1-point lead for Stanford. And you can see the number differential, the threes. And in Tennessee, they average about 10 per game so far. They've connected on 1 for 12. Free throws, that definitely jumps out at you. I'm sure
it sure does.
Well. Coach McGraw saw it as well.
Yeah, and you know, they do. They average 10 makes a game from the three-point line, but they shoot it at 29%. So if you're Stanford, you are okay with them taking those shots. Now, it's imperative, though, that you finish plays on the defensive glass.
Another three. This one from Cooper won't go, but
that's what can't happen. Yep. Because Tennessee makes you pay when they get on the offensive glass.
Civil shot won't go, and now Clardy to try to push. You know, it'll be Haley Swain with the play call up top. Swain gets it. Acted like she was going to use the Aguirre screen, and instead got the jumper to go straight through. It's just her second made three on the season. 1 for 10 coming in. Oh, back at you, says Spearman.
And that's the development of Z Spearman that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw her take a 10-foot jump shot in the 2 years when she was in Miami. And her development at the three-point line, her development in her face-up game, her willingness to be a part of that in this system.
And her doing that, you know, Stephanie, that can be the difference between her potentially getting to play after college.
No question.
And not able to stop was Chloe Clardy. Good D by Tennessee to hold her ground.
I'm impressed with how Stanford's attacking on the offensive end. Good job of knocking down the shot by Haley Swain. And then on the other end, Z Spearman, they're going to continue to challenge her to knock down that shot. She shoots that one with confidence.
No hesitation, and that's her 8th make on the season out there. Senior from Decula, Georgia. 23 starts last year for Kim Caldwell in her first season. Just under 2 minutes left, first half. He's been close the entire way. High to low, lefty finger roll though, won't go for Cooper. Big rebound for Eschmeyer. And here comes the pressure, every opportunity.
Everyone.
There's a chance to trap. Oh, lofty pass by Ogden, and it's taken away by the Lady Vols. And Eschmeyer knocks that one out. It'll stay with Tennessee. Hey, the 3rd annual ACC-SEC Women's Basketball Challenge wraps up tomorrow night. SMU, they host Arkansas at 7 Eastern over on ACC Network. Some really fun matchups tomorrow. That one will finish things off. I've really enjoyed this challenge, and we're starting to see other conferences try to do the same thing. But again, it's a fun way to kind of see where are we in comparison to some of these others.
I like it too because not every team schedules in a competitive way in the non-conference, and this really kind of forces you to play some competitive matchups, gives you some different looks.
ACC in control right now, though, 5-1 in wins.
Yeah, I think this could be a dominant year in this challenge for the SEC.
First half winding down. That one won't go, and a rebound into the hands of Robertson. Skip around, Spearman. That one too much. Swain. No hesitation, and foul going to go against Tennessee. Aggressive drive by Haley Swain.
First personal number 1, Nia Robertson.
It's going to go against Nia Robertson. It's the 4th on Tennessee. Stanford, no scoring for the last 2+ minutes. Trying to get some points from the free throw line. Not there.
And the great thing for Stanford is they haven't scored, but they've done a pretty good job of limiting Tennessee as well. And the challenge for Stanford is going to be on the offensive end. How can you find enough point production? But they're doing a good job of dictating tempo. They're running when they have opportunities. They're keeping Tennessee from getting out too many times in transition because of their turnovers.
Yeah, they cleaned up things a bit from the start of the first quarter. As this second one is winding down. Apollo, Allen Robertson. Clardy pokes it away from Cooper. Up top, Barker, nothing but net. Jemiah Barker, the senior, with a big bucket, a little momentum for Tennessee going in here at halftime. Halftime here at Stanford. Our score, Tennessee 28, Stanford 24. Let's send it to the studio for the halftime report with Kelsey Ripscup, Megan McEwen, and Muppet McGraw.
Introducing SportsCenter for you, personalized every single day. Now available on the ESPN app. Powered by your favorites.
Welcome back to the ACC-SEC Women's Challenge. Inside Maple Pavilion here in Stanford, California. And we've had a close one, but it's Tennessee, the number 19 team, going on an 8-0 run to finish the first half. Glad you be with us, everybody. Kristen Luck alongside Stephanie White. And it was a nice push by Tennessee late, an 8-0 run. Their defense has really been stifling at times.
It has 13 points off of turnovers. We saw it early in the first quarter, and we saw it ending going into halftime, really dictating on the defensive end. And Talaysia Cooper has 6 of their 7 steals. I mean, just really a good job of putting pressure on the offensive player, of using her length, of being able to get deflections that then lead to steals. Stanford has done an admirable job in the half court defensively, but you have to take care of the basketball against this Tennessee ball club.
Oh, you're right. They had 8 turnovers of their 14 in the first quarter, cleaned it up a little bit, but then that late charge by Tennessee, at 13 points off of those 14 turnovers forced. That's what they love to do.
Yes, it is. And they do it in a lot of different ways, but Cooper is certainly the head of the snake.
Stanford, though, holding Tennessee to just 28 points. So the defense doing the best they can. A team that came in averaging 80 points a game. And this third quarter is underway. So many of the matchups today have been close ones in our ACC-SEC Challenge, as that first option inside Spearman's been good as well. Couldn't hang on there, though. Pressure continues. Mia Paldo is going to get the start this quarter. We talked about so many different starting lineups for this team. Good for Stanford to see Laura Shimfai back in.
Well, no starting lineups, 7 different ones. You know, 8 different ones in 8 different games, and based on production from the game before.
Coach Caldwell gets a lot of production, 28 points a game from her bench, and she just keeps going to it, bringing fresh legs on. Inbound play and a big block. That's Jada Siddle.
And we've seen that multiple times, right? The athleticism, the speed, the quickness to get back into the play, and then that leads to an easy open 3.
Oh, some confidence for the freshman, Mia Paldo, with another bucket.
And Paldo saddled with those 2 early fouls, wasn't able to quite get into a rhythm in that first half.
And Tennessee gets their largest lead of the game to start this quarter. Fake one-way D again, with that length again, just getting the fingertips and the blocks. Barker with help D, though. Nice job for McGarrett to get the hand in there. And now she'll try to post up with a mismatch on size. Flicks it up.
I don't know how that's not a foul. No, I mean, there was a forearm and a push and an elbow, and that was a tough finish. Nina Ruggiera's got to get going offensively for Stanford.
Yeah, they really do need her to find her game. 5 points for her, and this is their leading scorer. And now take away by Ogden. Ruggiera averaging 16 a game. Oh, just reaching in. Cooper. Defense to offense. Give her another one. Really something.
Well, she had 7 against Coppin State earlier in the season. She does such a good job of timing the cadence of your dribble. So you've got to do a really good job of keeping her off balance. Ooh.
She has the record at Tennessee with 9 steals. Did it last year. And now KP wants a timeout. Not happy with the start of this quarter. We'll take it as well. Defense to offense for Tennessee. The Lady Vols with 7 steals from Cooper, leading to the offensive production of Paldo, and another 3-ball for the Lady Vols, extending to their largest lead.
I can't do this don't give up thing all by myself. This whole fight, this journey thing is not a solo venture. This is something that requires support.
The Stuart Scott Cancer Research Fund honors Stuart's legacy. It awards grants to scientists who are addressing racial disparities in cancer outcomes and provides opportunities to researchers from underrepresented groups. ESPN and the V Foundation are proud to support this fund in Stuart's honor. You can support by visiting v.org/Stuart. Love V Week, and it's so important, and it's really incredible what the network has been able to do in the support, and a great cause. Stanford took the timeout, try to regroup. A tough start to this third quarter, and now another takeaway. Second turn of this quarter already. Paldo, defense getting back though. And Barker slow to get up, and she is limping her way across midcourt.
I thought it looked like she got the wind knocked out of her.
Take a look down here. She was tied up with a Guerra momentarily. Or she took the brunt of that. Shamfai, she's going to stay out there. Her forearm in the midsection, maybe. Oh. I'm glad to see her staying out there, though. Maya Barker, the senior, transferred in from UCLA a season ago. 6th player of the year in the Big Ten. And a miscue up top. Stanford forces the turn.
Stanford needs a good offensive possession right here. Give himself an opportunity to get a shot. Handle this pressure, really work to get the best shot on the floor.
Cardinal bring Chloe Clardy in early to start this half. A little bit more veteran leadership. Aggressive drive, the shot from Ogden won't go, and a rebound to Barker. And Barker almost loses it, but Tennessee will hang on. And Rapaldo asking for the high screen. Siddle curls around off the mark. Paldo with the cleanup. Nobody boxed her out. Great read from the freshman.
Yeah, you get the shot that you want Tennessee to take, and if you're Stanford, you got to finish the play. Great job of pursuing by Paldo.
And when you don't, then you face this full-court pressure. Clardy able to break it. Guerra, baseline drive, lays it up good. Much needed for the Cardinal. Quick crossover from Paldo, needed some help, and good movement without the ball. That was Wolfenbarger who's checked into the game.
Well, good job, Nunu O'Gara, working along that baseline. Help rotation is late for Tennessee, and she was able to get an easy two.
Barker trying to get it from behind, able to hang on. O'Gara with 7 points. Nobody in double figures as of yet. Paldo has 9 for Tennessee. Jersey Wolfenbarger, senior from Fort Smith, Arkansas, transferred in from LSU this season. Foul goes against Eschmeyer, her second. Can't get the free throws though. Oh, but not giving up on the play, and then Eschmeyer picks up another personal. That's just extra effort from Z Spearman.
And it's also the experience of Z Spearman. She doesn't get the first one. The ball is right out there. Spearman does a good job of just getting a hand on it, taking it away from Eschmeyer.
Just the second personal on Eschmeyer, so that's a good thing for Stanford. Spearman gets the first. 6'4" senior. Eschmeyer gets a seat. You got a chance to talk with her mom. Her family has made their way into town, and you know her mom. You played against her,
played with her at AAU for a long time, and then played against her in high school and college. And she was a heck of a player, an All-American at Northwestern, as well as her father, Evan Eschmeyer, had a strong NBA career.
I love that. And I love the drive there, the length of Courtney Ogden.
But her mom, Christina Diviak, her maiden name, is one of my all-time favorite people, even though she put me out of the high school state tournament 2 straight years.
Oh, wow, and you still like her. That tells you how great she is. Exactly. Well, she comes from quite the family, and she's had a good game here so far, but just picked up the fouls. The turnover there. Stevenson couldn't hang on. Looking it inside. Nope, they're going to call the travel instead. Tough break for Spearman there.
And Stanford's fortunate right there. Oh, yeah, there's Christina. Yeah, she was a heck of a player. Was fortunate enough to be a teammate with her, and then, of course, a competitor for a number of years.
Her daughter, Alexandra.
And just talking with her about the transition, and just as every freshman goes through, there's a learning curve, and there are the difficult moments, but certainly coming from a family of athletes, understanding what it takes on a daily basis.
No doubt about that. Getting some experience with the under-17 team this past summer with Haley Swain, her now teammate, winning the gold for Team USA. Here's Swain. Gets the shot off, and they're going to call the foul on Tennessee. Paldo not agreeing. That'll be her third. So fresh legs coming in for Tennessee. I think Paldo picking up the third note. She's going to have to go take a seat.
Well, her getting her 2 fouls early in the ballgame really impacted Tennessee. You can see the difference in their ability to play with pace and her ability to break down defenders when she's on the floor.
Yeah, you're right about that. 4 starts for her on the season. Look at that impressive freshman group. That's the first one good. And tomorrow on ESPN, the ACC SEC Women's Challenge rolls on. It's number 3, South Carolina, and number 22, Louisville. That's 7 o'clock, as well as number 6, LSU taking on Duke, and that one will be at 9 p.m. Free throws good. Both sides needing to clean up the free throw shooting and getting it done there. They're checking and making sure everybody substitutions. As you see, Prawl take a seat. Talasia Cooper will bring it up, the redshirt junior. SEC second teamer last year and part of the all-defensive team. You can understand why. Impressive with the quick hands, and then the crossover there, gets the shot off, and she's going to go to the free throw line.
Cooper has such good body control. You can just see her surveying the floor. Great job of getting by Ogden with that first step, and the body control able to get it up there. She doesn't get rushed. You know, you can see the experience of a player like Cooper, experienced in this system as well.
Foul on Ogden, her third. With 5:03 left, third quarter. She had 105 steals last year for Tennessee. She just does so much at 6 feet, but just the quickness of some of the guards out there.
And she does so much when you look at the numbers in terms of her SEC rankings. I mean, she's in the top 20 in a number of categories, 8th in assists, 7th in steals, 13th in rebounds, 20th in scoring. I mean, she has a complete game. And oftentimes we talk about being two-way players and playing, you know, both ends with the same intensity, the same urgency, the same consistency, and she does that.
She certainly does. Her numbers there, 8 steals. Trying to break her own record of 9. Gets that free throw. No pressure from the Lady Vols. Swain dodging, weaving, trying to find Aguera, and she does, able to hang on. I think the crowd wanted her to square up, but she opted for Clardy on the trail. The 3 balls go.
And one of the few open threes Clardy's been able to get in this ball game.
Here's the Cardinal within 3. His back jumper won't go. Spearman on the weak side glass, and the block. And a foul call. to take the timeout. Tara Vanderveer in the building.
Tara Vanderveer looking on certainly, but a great look for Chloe Clardy, one of her few open looks. Big three.
Conference championships are this weekend on ABC. On Friday, it's Tulane and North Texas. And then on Saturday, BYU and Texas Tech, Georgia, Alabama, then Duke, Virginia to round out the night. So much going on this time of year. Hey, how about a new head coach coming into Stanford? That is Tavita Pritchard, former quarterback, former assistant here, and that's part of his team out on the court at the break. He's got his family here in the crowd, and they are really excited about him, Stephanie.
Yeah, it's great to see him come out to this ball game, support the women's basketball program, and it sounds like everybody's excited to welcome him back to campus.
Yep, you're right about that. Part of the Washington Commanders organization, and now they bring him back to the farm. Andrew Luck, the now GM, and a former teammate of his, is out of the timeout. A good one for the Cardinal. They pull within one. Aggressive drive, that one won't drop, batted around. And it's going to stay with Tennessee, they'll say. Boy, they do crash the glass. I mean, there's three bodies right there ready.
I mean, there has to be discipline in every possession, especially if you're not helping. And this is good defense by Clardy, really forcing a tough contested shot. But you can't watch. You can't watch the ball. You've got to go find a body.
And off the inbound, the takeaway by Aguera. Trying to push. Lays it up, no good. The trail and the offensive rebound for Stanford. Clardy hit one earlier. Gets another. And that gets Coach Pritchard on this crowd on her feet. An 8-0 run for Stanford. We'll take the timeout. Stanford regains the lead. 3:47 remaining. fans are going crazy here inside Maples Pavilion. It's an 8-0 run for the Cardinal, and they regain the lead first time since the second quarter stuff.
Well, good job of locking in on the defensive end. I thought the timeout that Kate Pay called when it looked like Tennessee was starting to make a run in that third quarter was good for her group to regroup.
Aldo's going to come back in, picked up the third personal, took a seat for a moment, but they are definitely a different looking team without her there. That shot short, crashing the glass though. That's Sybil and a jump ball. Great hustle from Jada Sybil. Out of Florida, Florida Gatorade Player of the Year, McDonald's All-American, as Swain hit the floor pretty hard. It's going to remain Stanford basketball. And Aguirre's going to bring it up. Parker stayed off of her. Cardinal extend the run. And an and one.
I like that look because Stanford liked the matchup. Shempai has had a hard time getting going on the offensive end. Jersey Wolfenbarger in the ball game. They like that isolation, and you see the substitution coming quickly with Z Spearman coming back in the ball game.
First made bucket for Shempai. She has had a tough time, 1 of 5 shooting, and going to try to add to her totals here. Freshman from Adelaide, Australia, averaging 11 points a game, and gets it. She's averaging 9 boards a game as well. She's been huge on the glass, leads the team in that category this year. Largest lead of the game for the Cardinal. A pretty composure to Lasia Cooper.
Yeah, great execution. Run a couple little rub screens for Cooper to get downhill.
Stops the 11-0 run by Stanford. And now looking to trap. And they force it. I don't know if that was a play call by the coach or if they just recognized this.
Yeah, I think that's a play call right there, and you got a little double rub. It's a tough one to switch because you're having to switch 3 times. Stanford is a team that likes to switch on those ball screens, and you just cause a little bit of confusion.
Cooper with 11. First Lady Vol to double figures. Clardy has 10. Swain has 11 for Stanford. Just under 3 minutes left, third quarter. And Cooper gets swarmed by Stanford Cardinal players. Robertson, that one rattles around and won't drop. She's been so good lately behind the arc, but that one won't go. She was 3 of 5 at UCLA with 12 points.
They had 10 threes earlier in the season against Coppin State.
Yeah, how about that? The Tennessee record, and now the offensive foul call. Standing her ground at the other end.
Yeah, this is good defense. Good read on the switch by Robertson. You see the extended arm by Swain. That's an easy one for the officials.
Nia Robertson has come to life, the senior from Fort Worth, Texas.
And Nia Robertson playing a different role than she was playing at SMU. I mean, she was a volume shooter, a primary scorer a year ago at SMU, and now she's able to be more of a spot up and at times playing that point guard position.
You're right, very different after transferring in from SMU, and now the bucket pulls Tennessee within 1. That was Cooper.
In the last few times down the floor, Cooper getting the ball in those ISOs on the elbow.
Yeah, she's been the go-to. Shemai's 3, no good, and the rebound down to Latham. Chance to regain the lead for Tennessee. Help D coming over, but that allows Spearman to try to clean it up. Can't get the shot to go, though. And Clardy needing some help. The D getting a piece of it. Cooper. And Paldo on the weak side, another chance. Robertson. The shot's just not dropping for Tennessee. And Swain's gonna push. Shempai 2-on-1, and the Cardinal get it. And now a turnover against the Lady Vols.
Yeah, Stanford's fortunate to be able to come away with those defensive boards, and this is a great job in transition. Champai gets her feet underneath her, uses a little head and shoulder fake. You don't know who's coming behind you, and Tennessee has a number of blocks already in those situations. Good pace, poise, and composure.
14th turn of the game for Tennessee. 21 turnovers for Stanford. And that is a new season high.
And sometimes it seems like Stanford's one dribble too many. You know, they're waiting until that trapper gets just about to them before they're getting rid of the ball instead of anticipating it and using that space. And there's Cooper again. Another steal.
Oh, her timing, impeccable. Barker gets the bucket, but it starts with Cooper.
And I believe that's her 9th steal.
You are right. Yeah, ties her own record of 9. There's plenty of time left. There's going to be, I think, potentially a record broken here. Hand off to Clardy. Jumper is good. How big has Chloe Clardy been off the bench?
She's been huge. And, you know, a year ago, she had to be primary ball handling responsibilities and had to be a shot creator instead of just a shot maker. And certainly that was good for her experience. But having Polo back in the lineup helps from that standpoint.
And she's accepted the role off the bench. Yes. Coach K.P. said she can't say enough about her being such a teammate. As this quarter is winding down, Polo's shot, no good. And that will do it. Stanford connected on 4 of their last 5 to take the lead into the 4th.
Well, Teresha Cooper has been all over the place. 9 steals through 3 quarters. Her timing is exceptional. She's been the difference maker. The hustle play leads to an easy 2 for the Lady Vols.
Welcome back to the ACC-SEC Women's Challenge here at Stanford, and it's a 3-point lead for the Cardinal over number 19 Tennessee. 1 more quarter to go. Krista Blunt, Stephanie White with you, and impressive. Really, both teams have handled some runs, but that was something I think, especially Kate Pay for Stanford said, there's going to be runs in this game. You're going to have to handle this pressure.
Yeah, she mentioned that to her team today in shoot-around. It's going to be a game of runs. We've got to maintain our poise and composure. You see Teresha Cooper with 9 steals on the night right now, but the Stanford Cardinal doing an outstanding job on the defensive end. Really doing a great job on the offensive end as well. I had two concerns for them coming in was, can you take care of the ball, number one? And number two, do you have enough firepower to score with Tennessee?
Yeah. Well, they did the last quarter. 23 points for Stanford in the third quarter. They only had 24 total in the first half, so they made up for that difference. But the turnover is up to 22 now. Can Tennessee continue to add the pressure? What does Stanford still have in them for one more quarter? We'll find out. Barker's been a little quiet, and then Helpke coming over and a takeaway there. And then Barker gets it right back. Spearman, one-on-one, right out of Guerra. Letting them play.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, what a drive by Sybil. She is incredibly athletic.
I mean, they are. The physicality. Nunu stays vertical once she goes up. I thought there was probably a little contact before that, but I like that they're letting them play.
Yeah, I'm with you completely on that. Champagne around and won't go. She's had a couple of looks in that right corner.
Well, this is when you typically see the Tennessee style affect teams in the fourth quarter, and there's Paldo again. Does it look like, I'm not sure if there's a delay of game or...
Yeah, she held the ball just a little too long. Mia Paldo, the freshman from Patterson, New Jersey. Boy, I like it though. She is scrappy.
Yeah.
She's playing the kind of style I think Kim Caldwell loves.
You know, she's been impacted by this foul trouble, so hadn't been able to get into a flow. But again, this is what you see in the fourth quarter. Does this platoon substitution, does this 40 minutes of full court pressure wear on a team? And if you're Stanford, it is imperative in this quarter to take care of the basketball.
You're right. Completely fresh legs coming in for the Lady Vols. Maya Paldo, the twin sister of Mia, comes in for her. Nia Robertson really kicked things up in the third quarter. They could get a little more from her. Stanford's been patient for the most part, though, and I think that's really helped them out. And an and one from Haley Swain doesn't hurt either.
This is a great take by Swain. Good job by Paldo of taking away the baseline. Swain finds her way to the middle of the floor, and that is a tough finish.
Bench loving it. Swain to the line with 13 points, 6 rebounds, and she's had the ball in her hands a lot also. She has helped break this press.
She gives you a different look than LaPolo with her speed and her ability to get downhill, her ability to create shots or rotations at the rim.
Freshman out of Marietta, Georgia, 5-star recruit. Miss Georgia basketball last year. Paldo on the baseline. Quick release. Clardy had her back to it. It almost landed right on her. And now pressure continues. Oh, pick in the pocket, Cooper. Give her another steal. That should give her the double-double. 10 steals for Cooper. Her timing is really remarkable.
It is. Her long arms, quick hands, timing. And she just swipes at the ball and gets it after she makes the contact. I mean, there's a patience, there's a poise, but there's also a natural instinct and knack for the ball.
Just incredible with the double-double now. Her first on the season with steals and points. She's had some rebounds and points. But single-game program record.
Broke her own program record.
Did it last season.
Tennessee just makes you play almost perfect basketball because of their ability to get offensive rebounds and steals.
Yeah.
The number of possessions that they play with, the number of shot attempts that they get. You have to be that much more efficient on your end if you're giving them those multiple opportunities and multiple possessions.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I think Stanford with the high turnovers right now with 24. They've given up 21 points off of them. And yet still their head above water here, and they have this 4-point lead. They've held Tennessee down to 46 points so far. Spearman trying to get the O board. They're just going to wave it to go the other direction.
Well, Stanford's giving themselves these opportunities because they're shooting nearly 47% from the floor. Because Tennessee is missing opportunities from the free throw line, right? Shooting it at like 43% from the free throw line.
And missed opportunities in a game like this. Full court pressure continues. This crowd was on their feet a bit. They weren't happy with a no call on that last one.
They weren't. Right here, this is the timing of knowing when when the Devil's coming. It's almost one dribble, one move too late.
You're right, you can tell that timing is just not quite there. And that was a long pass, a break for the Cardinal. 7.5 left. Stanford kind of kicking up their schedule. They'll have Cal, Washington, and Oregon, former Pac-12 foes. They've got those 3 next. And they knew this would kind of kickstart it. And there's a whistle and a foul. It's going to go against Tennessee. And Denia Prawl. That's her second. There's the upcoming schedule for Kate Pay's Stanford Cardinal. Cornell, and then January 1st, they will be at NC State. Hard to believe we are in December. And conference play is not too far away.
It's flying by.
It certainly is. Cardi trying to lose Paldo. She needs some help. Kick out. Champagne hesitated for a second on that one. Sybil loses the D, the kick out. Paldo. Oh, yeah. Around and down.
That's right. Too much time right there.
Much needed for the Lady Vols, and they are within 1.
Well, Paldo's been a difference maker when she's on the floor. Things have been smooth for Tennessee.
Yeah, they had a very different feel. Some scores from earlier today, and that NC State game against Oklahoma. Overtime, NC State had some opportunities.
They sure did. They had 4 inbound opportunities in the last, like 9 seconds of the ball game.
Oh my gosh.
Couldn't quite get a good shot.
The SEC controlling things so far in the challenge.
And Aaliyah Chavez going off.
Oh, yeah. Last we saw, she had 30. I didn't get the final total, but a really incredible freshman. So fun to watch. Triple team, that means somebody's open. Spearman able to find her teammate down low.
And I don't think you have to triple team Spearman in that situation. I think you stay locked up and you force her to make that play.
Prawl with the bucket. And now the lead back to Tennessee. Up by 1.
But this is what we're talking about, the wear down effect. The ability to force you to continue to play fast, to continue to turn you over at a high clip and a high rate.
Cardinal have not had a bucket in over 2 minutes. That one batted around. Stevenson lost it momentarily. And a jump ball. It's going to stay with Stanford. But the fresh legs and bodies continue to come in for Tennessee.
And you get to this point, the last 5 minutes of the ball game, and it's the physical and mental sharpness and or fatigue in these moments. If you're Stanford, can you take care of the ball? Can you give yourself an opportunity? Can you keep Tennessee off the glass? And if you're Tennessee, this is exactly the situation that you expect to be in the last 5 minutes of the ball game.
That's what they've set things up for. And Stanford has not gone nearly as deep into the bench as Tennessee has. So it'll be interesting to see, just under 6 minutes left. How fresh are the legs?
And when you think about the score, this is right where Stanford needed it to be to give themselves a chance.
They have definitely been right in it. That's exactly right. Coach Kate Pay telling the team, it's our house. We're all in. And just those taking care of the ball and boxing out some basics but important things. Oh, and then off the inbound, the turnover. And the finish, Nia Robinson. Defense to offense.
Difference in the ball game right there.
And a 3-point lead for Tennessee.
And if you're a coach and you're KP, you'd rather have a 5-second violation than a turnover that leads to a bucket.
It's right in front of the coach. 25 points off turnovers. And that's a 7-0 run for the Lady Balls. Ogden. Fader on the baseline. Aguera cleaning it up. And Aguera with 9 points. Cooper on the drive. She goes to the baseline. She'll go to the free throw line.
Tennessee continuing to do what they do best, creating offense from their defense. Nia Robertson, gets the steal, and Nia Robertson in transition with the easy bucket.
Back in Maples Pavilion, a 1-point lead for number 19 Tennessee over Cape Bay's Stanford Cardinal. But pretty impressive, this freshman class and what they've contributed so far this season.
Yeah, Haley Swain's been really good for Stanford. Her ability to get to the rim, she's knocking down a three. She gives them a different dynamic in transition. And Laura Shumpy hasn't quite been able to get going in this ball game, but 5 in this second half.
Yeah, she's really stood out. Talasia Cooper, a double-double with the 10 steals, 13 points. And points off turnovers, that is Tennessee's bread and butter. As Cooper adds to her totals. Gets the first free throw. Can Tennessee keep the pedal down? Coming off that tough loss against UCLA. They made a big run, got it below double figures, and Coach Caldwell said, you know, we didn't keep pushing her. She wasn't thrilled with the effort that the team gave. They didn't continue to play the kind of style she wanted them to.
Yeah, she talked about it just being a learning opportunity for her. Yeah. She felt like she changed a little bit in the substitution in the second half, and a learning opportunity for her team.
Oh, and an one there, the scoop up and under for Shumpy.
I like it. You know, they haven't tried to exploit the elbow ISO for Shumpy against Z Spearman yet in this ball game, and this is a strong take and a tough finish. The comparisons for Shumpy to Alana Smith here in Stanford territory, Stanford country. And if you can continue to develop, as Alana Smith did, you're in good company.
I'll tell you what a season she had this year in the WNBA. My goodness. Three-point play for the freshman out of the IMG Academy, a 5-star recruit. And a lefty layup good. Cooper just continues. Lead back to Tennessee.
And that same elbow ISO. We've continued to see Cooper going to work from there.
And an answer at the other end again. Back and forth. All tied up. So Faiz come to life. Cooper getting some help, too. Oh, what a read inside, and the flick up good by Spearman. Eyes in the back of her head on that one.
That's a great find.
Another assist for Cooper. She has 6 assists. Aguera trying to lose the D. Off the mark, though. Spearman's length causing problems. And Robertson looks at coach. They'll slow it down. 3.5 left, trying to get win number 6 on the season.
Yeah, I'll go back into this elbow ISO.
Cooper faked one way, lost the D, skips it all the way across. Spearman, oh, that one rattled. He won't drop. Another chance. Here's Robertson. Spearman's had some good looks. A couple of these last ones haven't dropped. Oh, contact up high, high, low, and one. That's a great combo for Tennessee.
There's been some miscommunications defensively, and there Aguera just runs into Spearman. Shamfai not in a position really to switch that. There's no tag from the backside. Nice find by Robertson and strong finish by Spearman.
It certainly was. The combination and the read. We've had a couple of plays now back-to-back Tennessee has as she gets the three-point play. Spearman with 13. Clardy brings it up. Just under 3 minutes left. Swing with Pardo right up on her. Oh, and that one, another first turnover. Turnover 27 on the Cardinal.
And again, this is where you start to see the wear down effect. The last 5 minutes of the ballgame, we've been talking about it. Is there enough to sustain the style, the pressure that the Lady Vols put on you?
I was just thinking as Clardy was bringing it up, there's a Tennessee defender right up on her every single time you bring the ball in or turn around. There they are.
Yeah, it's a team that continues to get stronger as the game goes on. They continue to bring the same amount of urgency, intensity in their pressure, and they wear you down so that there can be an opportunity, if it's a tight game, to separate in these moments.
Well, they've definitely produced off of the turnovers forced tonight.
Yeah, I mean, from the jump, one of the opening tip, they're going to be able to pressure you 94 feet, force Stanford all along the baseline. Then they get you playing fast and making quick decisions. Their timing in their traps and their run and jump. There's Stanford at times holding on to the ball just a little bit too long, trying to go more one-on-one and dribbling through as opposed to working with the pass. When they found success, they've been able to get high percentage looks on the other end, but this Tennessee pressure wears on you.
Those numbers, the points off turnovers, 25 of them tonight on the season, forcing getting 29.3. Boy, you can just see it. And the big plus for Tennessee is the depth, and depth is such a key, especially as you go through a long season. To stay healthy and they can keep this up. Really tough. Picked 4th by the media, 5th by the coaches for their finish in the SEC preseason poll. Cooper spins it in. Aguera stays with her. Spearman just can't get it though. The great effort, and oh, Spearman landed awkwardly. You see what the call is as Spearman slow to get up. Shumpai, I believe, gets whistled for this.
Yeah, she does, and they're going to go look and see if they need to upgrade it. And I think Shumpai talking to the official about she felt like the defender in front had their arm on her.
It's interesting. I don't even know if she knew Spearman was standing there. She was trying to get the ball away from Cooper, and then Spearman was right there. This is going to be interesting to see what the officials decide as they take a look. Back to Sissoko Stevens, Jeff Wooten there, and Chuck Gonzalez, our trio tonight. Veteran crew here at Maples. But what a quarter for Tennessee, leading 18-10 this quarter alone. And a lot of it's come off of their defense.
Yeah, it sure has. The points off of turnovers. You know, the fatigue turnovers as much as the pressure turnovers. And you're going to see right here, just on the pivot, Shumpai does come right across the face.
Well, it's definitely high contact with the swinging arms.
Not the elbow, but
yeah. I'm just glad Spearman was able to get up, too. This is a difficult one because I don't think there was anything malicious by Shumpai. Kind of inadvertent, but at the same time, when you look at kind of the ruling, see what they've come up with, but will it be elevated or not?
They do have the opportunity to elevate it.
Still waiting.
It's a tough one because it's a natural pivot for an outlet, but it's also if you're the one that gets hit in the face, you know,
you're thinking, I didn't have a chance.
I had no chance, and it wasn't like Spearman was pressed up on.
Right, that's true. There was
it wasn't like if you would have a halo or a cylinder rule.
Yeah, there was definitely some space and room for her. Trying to make a ruling for Stanford. Trying to get win number 9, Tennessee. Trying to get a big road win here. Finish off this West Coast swing after the tough win at UCLA.
Well, Tennessee's a program in the SEC that's going to play in tough road environments, so exposing them to this in these types of environments early.
And they have definitely found their offense as of late. So third personal on Shumpai with 2:17 left.
You got to get a stop and finish to get the rebound, finish the play if you're Stanford right here.
Not elevated though. I think it's probably the right call.
Yeah, and it's the forearm and it's not the elbow. You're not leading with the elbow. You're still trying to maintain. Those can go either way.
Two-possession game. Cardinal need to stop Spearman. So active. Her cuts have really been spectacular.
Well, and the timing of the pass. I mean, that's the difference right there.
And the foul on Ogden, her 5th. So that will do it for her. With 2:03 left. And Stanford going to go a little smaller with Lopolo into the game. Spearman with 13 points, 4 of 7 from the line, and misses the first. Gets the second. And a lane violation called against Tennessee. Tough break for Spearman and the Lady Vols. And Stanford capitalized. It's a 6-0 run for Tennessee.
Quality travel, yeah. And that's that pressure. If it's not turning you over, it's rushing you into decisions, funneling to help side, then you have to make an immediate decision.
The mental part of
Yes,
it would be very tiring, as well as the physicality, obviously. Big play for Tennessee.
And you've got to be perfect right here if you're Stanford. You're not putting a lot of pressure on Tennessee. You've got to make sure you're forcing contested shots and finishing the play.
A break there. Clardy didn't recognize. Shot clock to 4. Barker, she sees it. Gets the look. Spearman trying for another offensive board. Instead, comes down to Stanford. They need to push.
Yeah, gotta go.
Swain, the kick out. And the hit. Again with the big 3-ball. 1 possession lead for Stanford. Timeout, Tennessee. Big bucket by Agara for Stanford.
Yeah, and Agara has struggled tonight. She struggled from the floor, and this was just a terrific find by Haley Swain. She breaks the press. You see the defense collapse. Agara steps up and knocks down a big-time shot for the Cardinal.
Her first 3 on the night, her 6th on the season. She's got the double-double with 12 points, 10 boards, but it took her a while to get some scoring going.
It sure did. And if I'm Kim Caldwell right now, I'm thinking about Talaysia Cooper on the elbow. She's had her way with Tennessee right there. I loved the double brush that they ran for her, getting her going downhill to the right. But she does a good job of reading it and when to reject and when to use it. And if you're the Cardinal, you've got to defend without fouling. And you got to finish the play.
Both teams 2 timeouts, no fouls to give on either side. I'm with you with Cooper. The Cardinal haven't had a lot of answers for her and the other things that she's been able to do as well.
And although I might retract that, defend without fouling. Fouling has been, you know, if you're fouling the right person for Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Their shooting has not been good.
It has not. Tennessee 9 of 18 from the line. Stanford's gotten their shots going. Tennessee, they haven't scored in a little while. Just under a minute remaining. Oh, Napolo on the inbound.
The spacing right here on the inbound, you know, right into the corner. It makes it easy to defend. Lapolo does a good job, and KP talked about just her IQ and her poise and composure on the floor.
Knocked it off of Cooper.
So there's an appeal right here on the out-of-bounds play for Kim Caldwell.
New addition this year with the appeal added for the coaches.
And if you're not successful, you get charged a timeout.
Yep. Still another timeout to go. So maybe not a bad idea at this point, just to get a chance to talk to your team. So also checking the time, making sure that's correct.
It's hard to tell from this angle.
Polo's left foot there. Did it touch her foot at all? But
it looked like it might have been Roberts, and I don't know if it touched Cooper or not. This angle's a tough angle to tell from.
Yeah, it certainly is.
And again, it's got to be clear. It's got to be conclusive.
I definitely couldn't tell there. And then Cooper sort of reached for it, but did it touch her? You can't see from that angle, but did it touch her thumb? It's got to be conclusive though, and the call was off of Tennessee. That play was happening right in front of us, and I'm thinking, That is a tough pass to make on this inbound right here, and Polo made sure of it. This could maybe show them a bit more. I think
it looks like it hits Lapolo's leg right there.
So
and then is Cooper touch it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it might stay with Tennessee, but it's got to be clear and conclusive. No, unsuccessful.
Yeah. They do have some looks that we don't always see, but tough one for the Lady Vols, but a big play for Stanford. Losing the D, Clardy thought she got tripped up. Instead, the turnover will send it the other direction.
Yeah, that's tough if you're Stanford not even getting a shot. But you've got time to be solid on the defensive end. Finish the play right here. Clardy looked for the hesitation, didn't have it.
Cooper was right there, making it difficult. So the 30th turnover on Stanford. And it ties a program record.
It's so hard when you're chasing the ball on an inbound and you come within 3 feet of the person that's inbounding. Create a little bit more space so that you can use your speed to get open.
2 timeouts left for Stanford, 1 for Tennessee. And no fouls to give on either side. And there's time here if you're Stanford. You don't have to foul. You need a stop.
And hopefully you've talked about what you do if you get the rebound and the stop, if you're using a timeout to advance it or not.
Lady Vols have been on a bit of a scoring drought. Could use one here. They get it to Barker. Gets a little closer. Weaves her way in. Big defense from Shafai. Yep. It's going to go against Paldo.
Yep. And that's a big-time rebound by Shafai.
Sure was. She's been working hard inside. The freshman from Australia.
Because this is a tough one. You've got Barker trying to draw the foul, doesn't do it. She's staying with the play. Paldo coming from behind. And she had just been called for that offensive foul, so good job of staying with the play.
Yeah, she's kept her head on her. She's got 10 points, 6 rebounds. And this is the first. Stanford, 6 of 10 from the line tonight. Can't get him, but guess who's there? Their leader, Agara, with the putback. Tied up.
What a play by Nunu Agara. I mean, just staying active. Her ability to jump with this Tennessee ball club does a good job of forcing Spearman under the rim, able to keep that play alive, and then maintain composure enough to finish this right here. She just drives Spearman under the rim. I mean, that's a heady play by Agara, big time.
That's tough for Spearman because she had her body there, but Agara just kept pushing through. It reminds me of something that Kate Pate told us today. She was talking about the sisterhood that this group has, and I felt like, here's your freshman missing her free throws, but Agara says, I got your back, because they've got this thing where they have the big sister, and they'll have an upperclassman kind of helping this freshman group. You got 5 new individuals coming into this campus, right, to help them out.
Have each other's back.
Yeah.
But this is a situation right now, if you're Tennessee, you know, the appeal loses you a timeout.
Yeah.
Now you have no more timeouts. The most important thing right now, getting the ball inbounds, and then putting pressure on Stanford to defend. And if you're the Cardinal, you've talked about if they don't run it all the way down, and the shot goes up, and you get a rebound or make or miss, are we calling timeout? We got to know we're calling timeout to move the play.
Great point in a pressure situation. Over 4,500 on their feet.
But if you're Tennessee, you want the last shot. Don't give them that opportunity.
Barker and Spearman down low. Pargo, Robertson, and Cooper with the inbound. Adding just a little bit of time, 12.1 to the clock. Cooper, Clardy, oh, the layup good. And Stanford calls the timeout with 6.7 left. Big.
Yeah, I mean, great play, just an ISO for Cooper to go right. And in that situation, everybody behind Chloe Clardy has to be talking to her. You got to sell out to get to that right hand of Cooper. Watch Cooper, the subtle hesitation. She slows down right here, and so does Clardy.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You got to get to that right hand. You got to force her to make a secondary move in to help defenders. I mean, that's a heck of an individual effort by Cooper.
Yeah, she read it perfectly.
And a great play call from the sideline for Tennessee.
Sure has been. Cooper, 19 points. The 10 steals, 6 assists. Tennessee, they've not shot as well as Stanford tonight. They've taken more shots, but boy, that was a big one there.
It sure was. Great execution. Cooper's had her way getting to the rim. And now if you're Stanford, you've got a lot of different weapons that you can go to. You know, you've got Swain, who's done a great job of getting to the rim, getting to the paint. You've got Aguera, who's been in these situations before. Shumfai and Chloe Clardy, who made the game winner a game ago.
This is a team that clawed their way back against Colorado State. And you're right, Clardy making the game-winning layup. Aguera, help D. Oh, that one trickles off the rim, and a foul from behind. It had a great look. And Aguera frustrated she didn't get a foul to go her way as Robertson got knocked to the floor.
I don't know how that shot got up there, but Aguera, yes, in the ISO, great defense, getting her to spin into traffic. And who else? Talasia Cooper getting a hand on that on the spin.
Boy, I know that Aguera wanted a foul call. There was not a lot of contact when you look at the replay. Latham maybe a little bit with the body, but pretty clean other than that.
And the difference in Latham really selling out to force the counter move, right?
Yeah.
To force the spin into traffic.
Really big play for Alyssa Latham off the bench. 0.5 on the clock, they will say.
And we'll see, they might be going back to look at the time.
So, taking a look at the clock here on this one when the foul was called. You see the hand go up. I think it's
pretty close, right on.
Yeah. Big rebound by Tennessee on that one also. Robertson took some contact, no doubt. Cooper, the redshirt junior. She's been huge in this one.
And none of it, you look down at the stat sheet and you see, and outside of the steals, you know, all of it's been within the flow and fairly quiet in the game. But she has been able to live in those ISOs at the elbow. She's been able to get steals that lead for scores for herself and her teammates.
Yeah, there's so many things that don't show up on that stat sheet that she's involved with. Big free throws here. Robertson's an 87% free thrower coming into the game. Her first attempt tonight, though, off the mark. Stanford has one timeout remaining. And she gets the second.
That's almost better for Stanford that she makes that one.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So the timeout called.
I mean, that's them getting an opportunity to move the ball. We saw them working on their end-of-game situations today in shoot-around. So they've got some opportunities, you know, to look at some multiple screening actions. You would anticipate Tennessee in these situations switching.
You know, neither of these teams want to lose this game, obviously, but they are going to take so much from this experience. I mean, there's so many different things they're going to look at, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, and there is, and for Tennessee to bounce back, you know, after that loss to UCLA for Stanford, this is exactly what they needed to do to give themselves an opportunity to win in their first Power 4 competition of the year.
They have had 30 turnovers forced upon them. They've given up 25 points and yet still kept their composure enough and done enough to hold Tennessee down to just 65 points so far.
There you go.
Had the look, but off the mark. And Tennessee, big win on the road to hold off the surge from the Stanford Cardinal.
Well, Stanford got a good look, and if you're KP, you've got to feel really good about the effort that your team put forth this evening. And if you're Kim Caldwell, you know, their ability to find different ways to win. It's a tight game. They're not scoring at the clip that they're used to scoring at, but continuing to do what they do on the defensive end. And that's why you play that style. That's why you play the way that you do in terms of pressing 94 feet, multiple players, multiple substitutions, so that you can wear teams down to position yourselves to pull away at the end of ball games.
Oh, you're right. I mean, that quarter, Tennessee made that push, and they won that quarter 21-15. And it's because of that style that you could see just, I mean, again, the physical fatigue, but I think the mental part of it as well. It's a lot to continue to see every single minute as you see our ACC-SEC Women's Challenge 6-1, the SEC in control so far. Let's take a look at the numbers for Talasia Cooper. So good. And as you said, doing it in so many different ways, in so many different areas, but her defense creating the offensive opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, she set the tone, the head of the snake on the defensive end of the floor. I mean, her ability to create offense from that defense for herself, for her teammates, and really does just set the tone.
Okay, we're joined now by Talasia Cooper. Okay, Talasia, I'm tired watching all the pressure that your team brings on. You know, talk us through this game a little bit, because Stanford wasn't going away. They kept making a push. How were you able to kind of keep the intensity up, especially late?
Just pressuring the ball, just making sure we're on the same page. Stanford is a pretty good team, and we knew what we was coming into, so we just had to stay together as a team.
Yeah. Your pressure allows you in fourth quarters to separate. What are you guys talking about in huddles? What are you talking about on the floor to maintain that pressure?
Knowing that our defense leads to offense. Our best offense is our defense, because like we just go in transition. Also like communicating. Like I feel like we talked a little bit better this game.
Well, you forced 30 turnovers. You got 25 points off of those turnovers. Your knack and timing, is some of this, is it just instinct for you, or is there anything in particular or anybody that you've watched that you kind of learned the timing of the steal?
I just watch the ball and see what they're doing with it, and it's just an instinct thing too.
Well, really impressive. Double-double for you, by the way. 10 steals and a big win on the road. Congratulations. This was a fun one.
Thank you.
Big win for Tennessee. Good bounce back. After the loss to UCLA, they get the win here tonight against the Stanford Cardinal. That is going to do it for us from Stanford. For Stephanie White, I'm Crystal Blanc. So long. Tennessee, they get the win tonight. 65-62 over the Cardinal.